Hailey Bieber is finally pushing back, not subtly, but with full force, against the years of online accusations that she's a stalker obsessed with Selena Gomez. From viral TikToks dissecting her every move to conspiracy theories that she used witchcraft, yes, really, to manifest Justin away from Selena, Hailey's name has been dragged through internet folklore like a modern-day villain. And now, she seems done with it. Hailey's response? Not a rant, not a post, but a power move. She graced the cover of Vogue looking unbothered, expensive, and, most importantly, in control of her narrative. For many, it felt like a reclaiming of space, a middle finger to the people who said she built her identity around Justin and his famous ex. But in true Bieber fashion, Justin couldn't help but shift the spotlight back onto himself. In a move that left fans equal parts confused and cringing, Justin posted an emotional Instagram caption attached to Hailey's Vogue cover, revealing that in the past, during an intense argument, he told her she'd never make it onto the cover. Yes, you heard that right. On her big moment, he reminded the world that he doubted her success. Timing? Horrible. Impact? Huge. The post read like a public apology and a self-drag all in one. And while some fans called him out for being toxic and emotionally immature, others surprisingly softened toward Hailey. For the first time in a while, people started seeing her as the woman who's endured emotional wounds from the man the internet always claimed she stole. But while Justin hijacked the emotional narrative, the universe must have still been rooting for Hailey, because within the same news cycle, her skincare brand Rhode was acquired by ELF in a massive $1 billion deal. That's billion with a B. Suddenly, the girl the internet accused of riding on Selena's coattails was now the founder of a beauty empire. And what's a Bieber storyline without a wildcard appearance from Selena Gomez? Just as reports began circulating that Selena had allegedly blocked Rhode from being sold in Sephora, she pivoted out of nowhere and made headlines for publicly supporting Hailey. Yes, the same woman she once shaded for coming after her best friend on social media. Was it a genuine moment of growth or PR damage control? Fans are divided. Of course, the media ran with it, fueling the same tired narrative that Hailey is obsessed with Selena, refusing to let the feud die. Why? Because clicks, because chaos, because the Selena versus Hailey storyline has become internet. Canon, and breaking that cycle doesn't pay the bills. It's all par for the course when you're dealing with the Biebers, a couple who can't seem to escape the spotlight, even when they're trying to celebrate something as wholesome as a magazine cover or a business milestone. And let's not forget what I covered in our last video, the media's black propaganda campaign against this couple. From manipulative headlines to breakup rumors that don't match reality, the machine is in full gear. Now, we're hearing whispers that Justin might be broke, fighting with his team, and possibly spiraling behind the scenes. Is it the pressure, the past catching up, or is this just another chapter in the never-ending Bieber roller coaster? Either way, buckle up, because this one's messy. Hey, scandal seekers! Welcome back to Scandalous Media. I'm Angela, and yes, the Bieber chaos is alive and well. From the viral stalker documentary we broke down piece by piece to the non-stop social media wars. Between Hailey and Selena, we've been covering every twist, turn, and teardrop. That PhD in virology really pays off. Before we dive into today's full drama download, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for weekly deep dives you won't want to miss. Let us know in the comments what stories you want next. And follow us on socials. We're still fighting Instagram's mysterious shadow ban because apparently the devil works hard, but IG works harder. Now, let's break down Hailey's Vogue moment, Justin's emotional bombshell, and the return of Selena Gomez.
Okay, so there's some education that needs to be done. I can see that.
The fact that Hailey Bieber's Vogue cover prompted Justin to publicly recall a fight where he told her she'd never be on the cover at all tells you everything you need to know about how Justin operates. And if that didn't click for you, right away, allow me, someone who's been covering Justin for over 12 years, to break it down. Yes, Justin has been through a lot. He's a product of a toxic industry, surrounded by opportunists from a young age, and manipulated more times than we can count. And through all that, Hailey has consistently been there, often playing the role of emotional caretaker, picking up the pieces after each public fall. That loyalty runs deep, and it started well before they ever got married. But Justin has this pattern, whether he realizes it or not, of slipping into a martyr complex. Whenever something emotional happens, He tends to share it publicly in a way that's meant to seem vulnerable, honest, and open. And while that might sound healthy on paper, it often ends up doing one thing, making the moment all about him. Even when it isn't, even when it really shouldn't be. This Vogue caption, it was supposed to celebrate Hailey's success. Instead, it became a confession, a story about his guilt, his past behavior, and his emotional journey. He wanted to say, "Look how far we've come." But what fans heard was, "Hey babe, remember when I crushed your dreams?" Oops. The irony? That one misguided caption flipped the script. The internet, which had just spent months calling Hailey a clout-chasing stalker, suddenly pitied her. People started saying she deserves better, because even on her biggest day, her husband centered himself and made her win about his regret. It's a strange superpower Justin has. He opens up and thinks he's being real, but instead of sounding sincere, it comes across as emotional damage control disguised as vulnerability. This is a man who often defaults to the "I'm the bad guy" narrative. "Please forgive me, I'm trying to be better." He says it often, and perhaps he means it, but it can start to feel more performative than transformative, especially when it's delivered in front of millions on Instagram, instead of in private. And let's talk about the language for a second. In the caption, Justin says, "I was sadly mistaken." Sweet sentiment, but likely he meant sorely mistaken. It's a small thing, but it reflects something that's followed him for years. His awkward phrasing, his clunky attempts to sound profound, which often undermine what he's trying to say. Over time, Justin has made a public effort to grow through therapy, faith, and repeated statements about learning from his past. He's talked about the toxic behaviors, the relationships he mishandled, the mistakes he's made. And yes, there's real progress in that. He wants to be accountable. But the problem is, when he shares these moments, they don't always land. To his fans, it's vulnerability. To the rest of the internet, it reads as manipulation, or worse, emotional hijacking. And because Justin's darkest moments have been so public, from arrests and scandals in his 20s to the infamous blurred lines in his relationships, a huge part of the public no longer gives him the benefit of the doubt. So when he speaks, it's a lose-lose situation. If he says nothing, he's detached. If he says too much, he's gaslighting or love-bombing. In reality, Justin probably thought the Vogue caption was a show of growth. Like, "Look how wrong I was? Look at you now, babe." But to the world, it looked like a man reminding his wife she once wasn't enough on her biggest career milestone. Instead of getting applause for honesty, he got dragged for being tone deaf. People didn't hear love, they heard baggage, they didn't see growth. They saw a man so used to making his pain the headline, he couldn't even let his wife shine without a footnote about his feelings. It's heartbreaking in a way, because clearly Justin does love Hailey. Even in that same Vogue feature, he emailed the writer a one-liner. "I've done a lot of dumb things in my life, but the smartest thing I've ever done was marry Hailey." And that line is beautiful, quiet, pure. That should have been the caption. But Justin always over-explains. He narrates his emotional process in real time, and while that may come from a genuine place, it often feels like he's trying to convince both himself and the audience that he's a good guy. Sometimes, saying less would say more. After being roasted online, he changed the entire caption to 4 emojis. Translation, "What did I do wrong?" You can tell he didn't see the backlash coming. He really lives in his own little world, the Bieber bubble, where intentions and execution don't always align. Even Page 6 had to chime in, quoting a source close to the Biebers who said, "It was just his way of saying, 'I'm sorry for doubting you. Congratulations.'" And look, Hailey knows who she married. She's not shocked by his personality, his delivery, or his need to overshare. But just as the spotlight was finally starting to turn in her favor, guess who made a reappearance? Yep, Selena Gomez. Act 3. Selena's redemption arc begins while Hailey's Vogue cover was going viral, paired with her candid interview about pregnancy complications like heavy bleeding and emotional stress. Justin's caption had already sparked a TikTok trend where girls asked their boyfriends, "Do you think I'd ever be on the cover of Vogue?" And right in the middle of that cultural moment, Selena posted to her IG story. It was a soft pink square with an affirmation that read, "You matter, your voice matters, your heart matters. You are worth so much more than you know." She added the caption, "You know who you are, and I'm cheering you on." Subtle, maybe, But then Selena liked the Sephora X Rhode announcement post, confirming that Hailey's brand will be launching in Sephora this fall. Fans immediately put two and two together. This had to be about Hailey. It was especially shocking considering Puck News had previously reported in January that Selena was the reason the Sephora deal took so long to finalize. A high-level insider confirmed Selena allegedly blocked the partnership due to her own long-standing relationship with Sephora and the rumored tension with Hailey. So after liking the Rhode post and posting that IG story, Selena's fans went into overdrive. They claimed this was proof that Selena was never the problem, that she's always been the bigger person, that she supports Hailey. But let's be honest, when Hailey liked a post about Selena months ago, she got called an obsessive stalker. When Selena does it, it's called healing. Fans started speculating that this wasn't about growth, it was damage control. A strategic move to soften her online image as more and more people began questioning her passive role in Hailey's cyberbullying. Remember, this is all happening after my video exposed the smear campaign against Hailey, where creators were being paid to bash her online. Even Vogue mentioned the online hate in Hailey's cover story, and with Hailey clapping back in her Vogue video, trolling the witchcraft accusations and mocking people who say she forced Justin to love her, the internet was starting to connect the dots. Suddenly, the narrative is shifting again. Selena's role isn't looking as innocent anymore. And just as Hailey starts to reclaim the narrative, Selena slides back in, this time wrapped in pastel positivity and performative empowerment. Is it PR, a sincere olive branch, or the start of Selena's next rebrand? You decide. You decide.
I really just use them for a lot of the simple stuff, like surfing anonymously, commenting, stalking, viewing girls' pages, making multiple accounts, you know, that kind of thing. My dad flew me to go meet with this witch who lived in the mountains, and she made this specifically for me. She told me that it would make a young Canadian pop star fall in love with me.
After fans started speculating about Selena Gomez's involvement again, she subtly clapped back on Instagram. First, she posted a story with the caption, "Me trying to see the F's I don't give," alongside a photo of herself squinting, clearly unbothered. That was followed by a second photo of her asleep with the caption, "Mood? Translation? I don't care what any of you are saying." But here's the twist. If you're really that unbothered, why go out of your way to make sure the whole internet knows just how unbothered you are? Something's not adding up. Then things got even more interesting. Selena proceeded to repost an old video from February featuring herself and Ariana Grande, captioning it with a reminder that women can always be supportive of each other. I love you, Ari. Not long after, she posted a clip of Taylor Swift preaching about kindness and a photo of Miley Cyrus, captioned simply with heart emojis. Let's be real, someone was trying to activate multiple fan bases. Whether you're a Selena sympathizer or not, you cannot tell me she didn't know exactly what she was doing. Turning her account into a mini fan page for Ariana, Taylor, and Miley, that's not random. That's strategy. She was clearly baiting stans to rally around her, and honestly, it was kind of hilarious to watch unfold. Then came the real bombshell. An anonymous tip from Dumois claimed that after the Vogue drama and Justin's cryptic captions, Selena directly DM'd Hailey. Allegedly, Hailey accidentally opened the DM, freaked out, and immediately called Kylie Jenner for backup. Cue dramatic music. Dumois' sources said this DM exchange is what triggered Selena's mysterious "you know who you are" story post shortly after. Now, whether or not you believe Dumois knows down to the precise finger movements Hailey used to open a DM, the bigger question is, if this story is true, how deep is Selena's savior complex? Because reaching out like that after years of tension, it's giving performative peace offering. What do you think? Was it a genuine gesture or a PR power move? Hailey's Vogue confession, the shade, the subtext, the truth. Meanwhile, on the other side of this triangle, Hailey Bieber dropped her most personal interview yet in her Vogue cover story. In it, she opens up about motherhood, mental health, and the relentless obsession with her marriage. And yes, she subtly addresses the Selena drama, the divorce rumors, and her transformation from Justin's wife into a brand powerhouse. In her own right, the piece describes how her skincare brand, Rhode, elevated her status while Justin took a step back from music in 2022 after canceling the Justice Tour. According to Vogue, it was Rhode, not Justin's music, that kept the couple in the public eye, with Justin even taking a back seat and supporting her shine. The article also mentions the persistent internet obsession with Justin's past with Selena and rumors that someone is actually paying to keep the hate campaigns against Hailey alive. A theory we've explored before in the Bieber smear campaign video. When asked about this scrutiny, Hailey shares that becoming a mom gave her a new kind of confidence. You really start to give less of an F about so many things. You're just like, I don't have the time. Actually, I don't have the energy. She adds that she's done trying to convince people of who she is. I've tried to tell my side of the story, to correct a narrative or tell the truth. And people just go, she's lying. Imagine how trapping that feels. Justin himself also speaks up in the interview, calling Hailey an easy target because of how effortlessly she moves through the worlds of style, fashion, and business. He says, she makes being a wife and mom look easy. Hailey calls her son, Jack, the biggest priority in her life, and says that motherhood has taught her how to be more empathetic and changed her relationship with Justin in deep ways. He's an amazing dad, she says, but she also opens up about just how brutal the last year has been. The public speculation about their marriage hit her the hardest during postpartum, one of the most vulnerable times in her life. There's a new headline every 2 days. Justin's spiraling, we're moving to Europe, we're divorcing. None of it's true. We love Hailey. She shares her raw truth about labor. After leaking amniotic fluid at 39 weeks, she was induced, labored for 18 hours with no epidural, and experienced postpartum hemorrhaging. It was a little scary. People die from this. She opens up about struggling with postpartum body dysmorphia, self-hatred, and the shock of seeing her body change in ways she wasn't prepared for, even after months of preparation. Giving birth was the hardest thing I've ever done. She even admits that she used to scroll social media looking for hate as a way to validate how she felt, only to spiral harder. Social media made my mental health worse. I would literally go look for hate. Despite the darkness, she says therapy, motherhood, and her relationship with Justin have kept her grounded. Justin tells Vogue, I've done a lot of dumb things in my life, but the smartest thing I've ever done was marry Hailey. And when asked if she thinks the hate will ever go away, I thought after 7 years it would have, especially after having a baby. But nope. She shrugs with a cheesy grin. So I guess they're gonna stay mad. Justin Bieber versus the media machine, black propaganda and money woes for Justin. The media circus around him isn't just about money, it's about control. Yes, he's been looking disheveled, posting weird selfies, and acting a bit off on social media. But let's be real, that's been Justin's brand for years. The media is making it seem like there's been a sudden breakdown, but that's manufactured. Why? Many fans believe it ties back to the Diddy trial. Justin's team recently issued a statement to TMZ clarifying Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, but there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from them is wrong. What's interesting is that while Justin's name was floated in Diddy-related speculation, most sources say his real trauma came from other powerful names, not Diddy. Check the Bieber trauma post for more. Combine that with his fallout with longtime team members, financial entanglements, and the smear campaigns we've discussed in past videos, and suddenly there's a very calculated push to paint Justin as unstable. Even TMZ jumped in with a documentary about what's going on with him. But let's be honest, it felt more like a TikTok compilation than serious journalism. The narrative they're pushing? Money issues. Plus, Selena obsession. Talk. Breakdown. But is that the full story? Or is Justin just refusing to play along with the industry machine that made him and now wants to control him?
Money, 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 money.
TMZ recently claimed that this so-called feud between Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber is entirely one-sided, that Hailey is supposedly obsessed with Selena, and that the entire drama is simply happening in Hailey's head. They argued that the root of it lies in Hailey's perception of Selena, not in any actual actions Selena has taken. But let's be honest here, the facts don't exactly support that framing. Now, I'm not going to rehash all the times Selena has engaged publicly, because we've broken those moments down in detail before. But what is worth exploring is how certain media outlets are now pushing a very specific narrative. A narrative that just so happens to place all the blame on Hailey while painting Selena as a passive bystander, despite her pattern of calculated posts and timing. Let's talk about rage baiting, something Selena has been accused of doing and arguably continues to do. A perfect example? Right after Hailey's skincare brand Rhode announced its billion-dollar acquisition by ELF, Rare Beauty's official X, formerly Twitter account, posted 2 pictures of Selena blowing kisses with the caption, "Still here." It was subtle, but fans knew exactly what it was implying. That unlike Hailey, Selena still owns her company. It was seen as a jab, a digital wink to her supporters, reinforcing the idea that while Hailey may be cashing out, Selena is the one in control. Except that narrative isn't even true. For one, Hailey didn't sell out of Rhode. She partnered with ELF, which is a common strategic move in business. Massive acquisitions like this aren't signs of failure. They're signs of success. They mean a brand has real value. Meanwhile, multiple reports claim that Rare Beauty has actually been struggling to find a buyer. In fact, after facing backlash on social media for the "Still Here" post, Rare Beauty quietly deleted it. So, if anything, it felt like Selena's team tried to throw shade, got caught, and then tried to erase the evidence. This brings us to the bigger issue at play: mass gaslighting by the media. What we're watching unfold right now is a textbook case of black propaganda, a psychological manipulation tactic where selective information is used to create a false narrative. The goal? If you repeat a lie enough times, people will eventually believe it's the truth. And currently, the narrative being drilled into the public is that Justin Bieber is spiraling, that he's unstable, lost, or even possibly involved in a cult, just because he's speaking about faith, redemption, and God. But let's stop and look at the reality. This isn't new behavior. Anyone who's followed Justin for years knows this is exactly who he's always been. The erratic social media posts, the unfiltered appearance, the deep dives into religion, the raw, unfiltered relationship with fame, none of this is sudden. He's always hated touring. He's always posted ugly, unedited selfies. He's always smoked in public. And yes, he's always been tied to controversial churches. So why now is the media acting like this is some kind of alarming shift? Like we're watching a man unravel. In real time, it's simple, because they want you to think that. And I'm not saying Justin is without fault. Far from it. As we saw from that Vogue caption about Hailey, he definitely adds fuel to the fire. His own messaging can be cryptic, messy, and emotionally charged. But let's not pretend the media isn't exploiting this image of a broken Justin to sell headlines and clicks. They're spotlighting every small moment in his life and marriage, in ways that would never be given this much attention if it were anyone else. Every photo of him looking tired becomes a viral post. Every candid expression is labeled manic or disconnected. Meanwhile, other celebrities go through the exact same experiences without scrutiny. So if you walk away from this story with one takeaway, let it be this. It's not just about Selena. It's not just about Hailey. And it's not just about Justin. This is about how narratives are built, who gets protected, who gets villainized, and who gets sacrificed for entertainment. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts below. Do you think the media is twisting things, or is this just karma catching up? Follow us on social media for more updates, and check out Scandalous Media for your daily dose of insider celebrity tea. Until next time, stay scandalous.